me shredding again. Hi, welcome to the next shred session. Today, we're going to step away from some of the rudiments we've been doing, where we've been practicing our hands here. Here are the rudiments: the single stroke, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. The double stroke, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. Thanks, Nate Peak, for an educational video. Wasn't that cool? And the paradiddle, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. We're stepping away from that today, and we're coming back to talk about how to write music down so another person can understand the rhythm you're trying to communicate. We're going to talk about an eighth note rest today. But first, let's review, because it's been a while. First, here's something you should know. This, you have learned, is a quarter note, and that lasts for exactly one beat. You have also learned that this cool sign, is a quarter rest, and it rests for exactly one beat. For a quick review, we're going to write a simple rhythm, and we're going to see if you can clap it out. Now, I'm using my phone to record, so I can't use my fancy metronome, so I'm going to bring out Mr. Tiki-Taki. Now, here's the deal. Mr. Tiki-Taki, I think, is kind of lonely during COVID crisis, and he hasn't been able to hang out with his metronome buddies, and it's making him a little bit uneven. Might also have something to do with the fact that he's been dropped a couple times. However, you will notice he's not always as even as a metronome should be. We're just going to forgive him and do our best. Okay. 2, 3, 4. That's a little speedy. Let's bring it down a little bit. Give him a minute to find his rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. Okay. Here we go. Take a look at this and clap it out. Ready, go. Wow, he's really bad today. You're a very naughty metronome. Here's what you should have counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Again. 1, rest, rest, 4. That's that. Good job with the review. Now, another piece of the review is that you've learned what an eighth note is and how long an eighth note lasts. So, if you've got your quarter notes, oh, pen, pen, pen. Where'd you go, pen? I don't know. It looks like we're switching to red until I find my black pen again. You got your quarter notes that say 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your eighth notes. They say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. They take up the same amount of time, but there are 2 notes for every 1 quarter note. Okay, let's see if that shows up. Great. So, if you were counting this with my poor, sad, off-kilter metronome, 2, 3, oh, it's a little better. Ready? The top sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom, you say this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. So each beat has 2 notes when you're using eighth notes. Now, remember that often they party together, and that's when they look one way. But today we're going to see them partying alone, and they look a little different. So here they are partying together. 1 and 1 and 1 and. This is just 1 all by itself, and we're going to need to use this symbol with what we're doing today. One more quick piece of review, actually. We also learned that sometimes in a song, instead of 4 beats in every measure, you can have a different amount. You can have 3, You can have 5. You can have 7. You can have all sorts of kinds. So my metronome won't let me do anything like 5 or 7, but I can set it to 3, which is kind of cool. Just so you know, that would be this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and stop it. Okay, now the question of the day is, what if we want to rest, but only for an 8th note? We don't want to rest for a whole beat. We want to rest for half of a beat. So that rest symbol looks like this. It's like a 7 with a little curlicue on the top. Okay? So we're going to practice this, and it's kind of tricky. I really think that it takes some brain power, some focus. It's not as easy as it may sound. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by writing just a straight set of 8 8th notes. And underneath it, just to help us along, I'm going to write 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? And if this were going with a metronome or we're counting along, it would say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But what if I want to get rid of the note on the 3 and replace it with one of those little resty rests, a little 7 with a curly cue, and instead what we get is this, or rather this. What the heck? How would you count that? Why don't you think about it for a minute? I'm going to set the metronome and see if you can figure it out. Ready? Give it a minute. Okay, I'll count to 4. You see if you can figure out what to do with these notes. Except for we're still in 3. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. God, that metronome is sad. So here's what you should have done. You ready? 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 4 and 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 ba 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 ba. Right? Kind of weird, kind of hard, but I know y'all can manage. So here's what we're gonna do: make it a little bit harder just for fun. Bloop bloop bloop. Now it looks like this. Oops, I gotta make sure to turn my quarter note into an 8th note by adding a little flaggy flag to them. Okay, so now what about that? I got rid of the 2 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What does he say? Figure it out. What does he say? I'm going to tell you. You ready? 1, 2. Here we go. He says 1 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 4 and right? So sometimes musicians call this the offbeat, right? Or the and. They'll say, oh, play on the and of 3, and that means that you leave out the 3 and you play the and that goes with it. Offbeats are really cool. I'm going to play a beat for you in just a minute so you can see what it sounds like on a real beat. And I know I'm over time, but I got 2 more things. I'm going to show you that beat, and then I want to give you a little quizzy quiz. I'm going to write down for you a rhythm that includes an 8th note rest that you might hear at a sporting event and see if you can figure out what it is. And you can check the Schoology to see if you got the right answer. Okay. How exciting. Are you excited about your little challenge? I am. It's got 2 measures to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'll give you the first part. It goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. The second part. Okay. I'll write down the answer to that. But if you got it right, you'll recognize it from a sporting event. Okay, one last thing before we leave. I want to show you what the offbeat sounds like in a drum beat. So you might be chugging along playing a drum beat, or I understand that maybe not everybody's a drummer. That's what I hear. I don't know. I think that's crazy talk, but it might be true. If that's the case, often you're playing another instrument and somebody will say to you, hey, this would sound really cool if you play on the offbeats. And it gives things a really distinctive feel, almost sort of like a disco feel. So what this is 4 beats, and each beat only has the 8th note, the offbeat, or the and playing, and resting on the actual number. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, this one says this. And. I'm going to play for you on the drum set real quick what that sounds like so you can hear what it sounds like in real life. Okay? Oh, there we go. So check it. Here's my drum set. Right? Good times, good times. Now, grab some sticks. Ooh, I even got some matching sticks. It must be my lucky day. So you're playing, and you're playing something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now listen to me at the end. 1. Oh yeah, right. That's what the and beat does. It makes it disco. Check this out. If I play a little faster on the hi-hat. Now listen to this. That's the and. Hey, thanks for sticking around for an extra long video. And keep shredding.